This presentation is using the decimal board with a decimal fraction multiplicand and a decimal fraction multiplier. The first thing that I would invite my students to do is to write the equation in their math notebooks. 1 78 hundredths multiplied by 67 hundredths equals. The first thing we'll do is expand our multiplicand, as well as expanding our multiplier. However, when we look at our multiplier, we have tenths and hundredths for 67 hundredths. This is not a whole number, so we will need to change the values. If I multiply by 100, I can make 67 hundredths into a whole number. However, that makes our equation unbalanced, and so I will need to change the value of the multiplicand. To do that, I will change 1 78 hundredths dividing by 100, I would have 1 100th, 7 thousandths, and 8 10,000ths. I can flip my 6 because I will be working with the smaller number. 8 10,000ths multiplied 7 times, if I encourage my students to do this abstractly, is 56 10,000ths. Now I can move my 7 to my thousandths. 7 thousandths multiplied 7 times is 49 thousandths. Again, I can move my 7 to my hundredths place. I have 1/100th 7 times. It looks as though I will need to do some exchanging before I can record my partial product. In my thousandth place, if I take 10 thousandth discs, I can exchange them for 1/100th. 10 hundredth discs can be exchanged for 1/10. Now I would invite my students to record their partial product. 1,246 10,000ths. And then we can flip our 7 tile over. We will now be working with the 6. We would have to change the value of this. This was 6 tenths. And so we would multiply the 6 by 10, which therefore would mean we would need to change the value of our multiplicand. We would change 178 10,000ths, and that would become 178 thousandths. Again, starting with the smaller number, 8 thousandths multiplied 6 times is 48 thousandths. And I would move my 6 to the hundredths place. 7 hundredths multiplied 6 times would be 42 hundredths. Again, I would move this to the tenths. I have 1/10 multiplied 6 times. I would invite the students to record the partial product, but looking first to see if there's anywhere we need to exchange. I need to exchange 10 tenths for 1 unit. And now I will record this partial product of 1 1/68 thousandths. Looking at this, I have my partial product from previously, and I want to make sure that I am lining up the correct categories. My 8 thousandths will be placed below the 4 thousandths from the previous product. 6 hundredths will go below the 2 hundredths. I have 0 tenths, and in this case I have 1 unit. At this time I will take the students back to the original equation. One and 78 hundredths multiplied by 67 hundredths. If we take our partial products and add them together, making sure to keep my product or my sum in the correct category, and then I can check my work. For my thousandths, I will exchange my discs, 10 thousandths for 1 hundredth, and my sum of my partial products matches the product on the decimal board. 1 and 78 hundredths multiplied by 67 hundredths equals 1 and 1,926 10 thousandths.